In many languages, nouns have genders. English doesn't have any, but Spanish and French have 2, German has 3, and some languages have even more. So let's talk about how these genders influence the articles. While in English you say the spoon, the fork, and the knife, in German you say der Löffel, die Gabel, and das Messer. So we have der, die, and das as our definite articles, instead of just the. Der is the masculine article, die is the feminine article, and das is the neutral article. We'll get to some rules about how to figure out which one is correct later on. First, we have to talk about the other articles. We also have the indefinite article in English, which is a or an. Here we have only 2 in German instead of 3. Ein and eine. Ein is for masculine and neutral nouns, and eine is for feminine nouns. So going back to our example words, if we want to say a spoon, a fork, and a knife instead, we would say ein Löffel, eine Gabel, and ein Messer. We have just one more article today, and that is the one that is used in the plural form. In English, when we speak about things in the plural, we still use the. For example, the spoon, but also the spoons. The doesn't change. In German, the plural article is die, the same one used for the feminine nouns in the singular. Let's go back to our example words and change them into the plural. Die Löffel, die Gabeln, and die Messer. There are also other articles in different sentence cases, but we will have to leave those for another time. So let's recap. For masculine nouns, we have ein in the indefinite, der in the definite, and die in the plural. For feminine, we have eine in the indefinite, die in the definite, and also die in the plural. And for neutral, we have ein in the indefinite, das in the definite, and again, die in the plural. It's complicated to remember it this way, so let's put it all in a table to make it more concise. You will pick up on this naturally if you use the language long enough, but it is useful to have an idea about which one is which, so maybe try to memorize this table. Now let's talk about some ways to figure out which gender a noun has. Sadly, you can't tell 100% of the time which gender is correct, but there are some rules that make you more likely to guess correctly. To get one thing out of the way, you generally can't infer the gender of the noun by the logic of which gender makes intrinsic sense. So, for example, a tree or wall are gender-neutral objects, but neither of them get the gender-neutral article in German. Tree is masculine, der Baum, and wall is feminine, die Mauer. Now some of the actual rules. Here's a list of things that are masculine. And here are some endings, also known as suffixes, that suggest that the noun is masculine. Here's a list of things that are feminine. And here are some suffixes that suggest that the noun is feminine. And finally, here's a list of things that are neutral. And here are some suffixes that suggest that the noun is neutral. One final tip. The distribution of articles in German is not even. According to the Duden, 46% of German words are feminine, 34% are masculine, and 20% are neutral. So when in doubt, guess that the noun is feminine, and you'll be right almost half the time. Now try to practice by guessing the gender of these nouns. Hopefully this was a helpful introduction to the German articles. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and subscribe to learn German.